Hey YouTube, welcome back to another video and thanks for joining me. So in today's video we're going to carry on with the maintenance for the AGA 45p. Now for those of you who haven't followed the last couple of videos, I'll leave the links down in the description. So we did a massive overhaul of this tank and we still had some work we needed to carry on throughout this week. So we're going to carry on doing that, as well as get some jobs done around the room with some of the other enclosures and some of the other animals. So if that's something that interests you, then make sure you stay tuned. Without further ado, let's crack on with today's video. So in this video I wanted to go a little bit more in detail of what I've done to try and combat the issues with this tank. Now firstly, you would have seen that I just dropped the water very slightly initially, just because I needed to get my hands in the tank and I didn't want the water splashing out everywhere. So the best advice I'd give you is try to do your water change last once you've done your maintenance. So you would have seen me there trimming some plants, the hair grass in particular, as well as then trying to remove a lot of the algae, which has been a bit of a problem. But by doing that then, once you do the water change after your maintenance, clean down the glass, get rid of anything, you're then removing out any of those dead plants, algae out of the tank completely. So my advice would be to do your water change last. Now I know a lot of people worry when they have particularly small fish. In this case, in this tank is a perfect example of that. We've got some very tiny baby shrimp. The fish in general are quite small, even the Darios could fit up the hose pipe. So I know a lot of people will add sponges and things to filter out any big matter to go up their hose. Now I don't like to do that because I like to get any dead plants, any big waste organics out of them. Don't find the sponge is the best for that. So what I do is I place my beautiful pink colander in the bucket when I'm draining it out and run the water through the colander, and as you will see I did suck up a shrimp, so I would have lost that shrimp if I hadn't done this, and now we've saved him. So my beautiful pink colander, which I know you all love, is a lifesaver, literally. Okay, so like I said, I want to get a couple of little jobs done around the room. I try and do this when I'm filming just so it gets 2 jobs done in one, and I thought you might like to see a bit of feeding, bit of cleaning, bit of regular stuff really. So enough of me chatting rubbish, let's get on with it. So if you're new to the hobby and you're new to fish keeping in general, if you're doing a water change and you're adding new water into the tank, you need to make sure that you remove any chloramines or chlorine from the water, because it can harm the fish, it can burn them and potentially even kill them to an extent, especially small, tiny, fragile fish like these. So what I've always used Prime, which is a Dechlorinator. This is probably the best one I've ever used just because it's so concentrated, you don't need to use a lot, and it lasts for a long time. And I'll leave the links down in the description as well, so you can go ahead and check that out if you want to buy some yourself. Now I did mention in the last video that I do add fertilizer into this tank. Now I did sort of explain briefly what I use and why I use it. So firstly I use Flourish, and this is a general fertilizer, and I use this pretty much every day. Now what I would say, and I mentioned in the last video, was that you shouldn't add too much into your tank. What I mean by that is there's so many different fertilizers, so many micronutrients that you can add into the tank. Now the reason I wouldn't go ahead and use them all at the same time, I would generally recommend using a general fertilizer like this one, which is by Flourish, and I'll leave the links down in the description again for you. So I use that in general because it should keep on top of most plants, especially with good lighting. But if you add, phosphorus, iron, everything you can actually think of to put in that tank, magnesium, whatever it may be, if you have issues, you're not going to know why. So it's about getting to know your tank. And like it's mentioned in the last video, I think that I've since started to use iron, which is by Flourish again. Again, I'll leave down the links down in the description. And the reason I've used this is I can see some of especially the redder plants are going a bit yellow, and potentially there's an iron deficiency there. Now, if I was to add all these different types of fertilizers in, I probably wouldn't be able to identify what the issue is. So that's why I would start to build up on what you think your tank needs. Give it a couple of weeks, trial how it looks. If it's not working, it could be something else, you can explore another option. Now, feeding these fish, obviously they're very, very small fish and their mouths are extremely tiny. So usually you get flake food or pellets and grind it up. But a brand I really like in terms of fish food is NTL Labs, and I use this one for can you see? So I use this one for this tank in particular just because it's a nano crumb and it's very fine. So this is a perfect food for them. Not sponsored in any way, and I'll leave links down in the description. They've got a whole range and I use the entire range minus the goldfish one, I think. Really good, and I'll probably do a video around these and why they're so great in the future as well. Now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I really appreciate you checking out this video, my channel, and showing me any sort of support. As always, if you're a new viewer to this channel and this is the first video you see, do me a massive favor and hit that subscribe button, as well as that notification bell, just to make sure you don't miss out any future uploads. As always, if you're a regular viewer, I appreciate every single one of you. If you can drop me that thumbs up and just drop me a comment, just show YouTube you're enjoying this sort of content and allows me to make more videos like these. Now, I hope you enjoy these sort of vlog style videos where we see not just the subject matter in the thumbnail, but we go around and see some other animals, enclosures, and give you a bit of an update on other things. I'd love to hear what you think, and if it's something you like, want to see more of, you want to see less of, then please let me know in the comment section below. But as always, thanks for stopping by, checking out my video, and I'll see you in the next one.